What's going on, y'all? As soon as the handshakes start rolling, J Black pop up. I'm seeing a whole bunch of handshakes that I like. Shake my hand. Everything I say and do is for entertainment purposes only. This is the Allegedly podcast. All right. Okay, y'all. It's good to know that I was right, though. Before we ain't start yet. This is the early round blunt twist, and shout out to the great Sue Surf. We ain't start yet. We're gonna start in a minute. It's good to know that I was right, J Black. Oh my goodness, you lied about the whips and chains. Did I? Did I? So your boy, J Black, aka Black Man, not to be confused with Batman, dropped a video January 14th of 2025 discussing whips and chains. Saying how it was a thing. And now today we discover why it wasn't released yet. Oh. But we'll get back to that. What's going on, y'all, in the chat? Everybody doing? You know what I'm saying? How y'all feeling today? You know what I'm saying? How we doing today? Appreciate y'all. Hit the like button. And if you miss it during a live session, we're going to drop part of it on you. You know how we do. We double. You know how Clipse talk about cooking the coke out, and you know what I'm saying? We're going to step on the work a little bit. Listen, if you go to my comment section, a certain video, say, J Black, what happened to whips and chains? Oh, but now we know what happened to whips and chains. So when I say they, it's just certain comments that I've been seeing. J Black, it still ain't dropped, but now we know. We'll get to that, though. We got to clock in and check in first. We don't get to that. We're going to be here for a minute, at least 30 minutes. This is at least, I'm going to let y'all get up in here first. You feel me? Huh? Is my mic good? Is my mic? Should I turn my audio up? Should I turn it down a little bit? Let me know. The show hasn't started. Pay attention. We have some items to read. We have some items that I've already read, by the way. I already read these items, so I know what I'm talking about already. This is why I'm so like, yeah, because it's more so if I told you so. I've already read these items. Ashley Carter, let me get to it. If you want to be the sous chef, you could be the sous chef. But let me cook. Ah! Huh? We about to get activated in a second. Trust me. We about to get activated in a second. We're going to get activated in a second, but before we get activated, all I can do is this. J Black warned y'all. Wow. Let's let J Black speak. Wanting to know what overkill looks like, and hopefully sounds like when we get this track to drop, it probably would be this. This is not the video yet. We got y'all. This is the early round blunt twist, and let us. We got to warm the stove up a little bit. We have to warm the stove just a little bit. Preheat the oven. Look, we got this is the preheat function. That's it. It's the preheat function. Pusha T and Kendrick on a track again called Whips and Chains. You can't watch. Oh no, you can. You can't watch Harry Potter 7 without watching Harry Potter 6. So one, this is the first part of the movie. Let me go. We said it again. Pusha T and Kendrick. Pardon me, Clipse and Kendrick Lamar on a track called Whips and Chains. J Black, they thought you was lying. What do you think that's gonna sound like? Madness. What do you think will be said in a song called Whips and Chains? A lot. What's going on? It's your boy J Black, aka Black Man. Shake my hand, hit the like button. We are here. This is live, by the way. Already did, Black. We're gonna have a conversation for about 30 minutes or more, depending on what y'all say in the comment section as we proceed. Okay. To give you what you need. Whoa! All right. This is before the trial, y'all. You're over there arguing. Again, this is the early round warm-up. The video has not started. Trust me, when I get activated and do what I do, stay glued. This is just the early round. This is the preheat in the oven. This is all that. Hey, let them go. Bron James and DJ Academics, while this on the sideline is going on. Focus, good brother, focus. Pay attention and read the room. A lot is happening. You understand me? without further ado, how people caught this is that people was on TikTok, and this part ain't pertinent. This part ain't. Let's skip ahead in the black video. It down, and when they take it down, this is what you'll see. Not Kendrick, pardon me. Not that. This is just me verifying that Whips and Chains was coming. This is me verifying months ago that Whips and Chains was coming. But you know what I'm trying to say here. You'll see this. The video ain't start yet. Stay patient. Stay tuned. Chains, Whips and Chains, Chains and Whips featuring Kendrick Lamar digital version. Publisher UMG. We're gonna get to you in a second, UMG. You hear me? UMG. We're gonna get to you in a second, all right? We're gonna get to you in a second, UMG. I got you. Everybody stay glued. The oven is, you know how I go from 175 to 200 to 250, then to depending on what you put on 400, it's at 210 right now. Let's go. UMG. This wasn't a rumor. This wasn't somebody media source saying like, oh, I think this is UMG saying, yo, you can't use that because we got this. Ariel smokes his Whips and Chains. Now we know why though. Well, hold on, Black. Now we know why. Now we know what really happened. Let's go. American slaves, Canadian booty goon. Okay, damn, smokes at it again. Damn, out the gate. We probably admitted in. This is what you see. So we know it's coming, but if that's not enough for you, right? If that's not enough for you, it's funny watching myself back because now I have the answer to what I was saying. They've been wanting to release this. But we'll get to that though. We'll get to that. That's crazy. I don't believe in this UMG, this and that, even though it's the company. The people that's protecting the content, so we can't, monetize or use it 100%. Pusha T himself. Hold on, we got multiple. Said this.
Absolutely finished. Absolutely finished. Just waiting on a feature.
Okay.
We found out, shout out to Pusha T, that this was cap at the time because the verse was already turned in. But we'll get back to that.
Just waiting on the feature, bro. Just waiting on the feature.
So you know who you are. Whoever he's talking to, you know who you are.
You are. Just waiting on the future, man.
So this is Pusha T. Shout out to Kendrick Lyrics. Word from K. Dot account. Pusha T said this September 3rd, 24. One more time. Let's play that one more time.
Hold it up.
Feature, bro. Absolutely finished. Just waiting on a feature.
Finish what?
Okay.
Just waiting on the feature, bro.
What feature you waiting on?
Just waiting on the feature.
So you know who you are. Whoever he's talking to, you know who you are.
You are. Just waiting on the future, man.
All right? He's only waiting on a feature. And I believe that feature's from Kendrick Lamar himself. And again, if you listen to the preview again that they played, and I think some fashion show, we found out that fashion show is Pharrell's LV show. I'll get back to that though. This is all pertinent. Oven is at 315. Stay locked in. Lock in now. Oven is at 320 right now. Lock in. Energy was, I'm gonna get at you. It even says like if we let you get away or some shit like that in the track. It's low key. It has the format of like of dissing. What if K. Dot decides to do it like that part 2? Oh. What if he has more targets? Oh. What if he defends LeBron? Who knows? But I'm saying is, well, I guess that didn't happen from what I heard, but we'll continue. Drake. We at 335 right now. What's going on? Now, viewers, the temperature of time to start. Reload, you hear me? Because it can be like that. On top of it, he said this prior to, too. Hold on, we got more. We about to start, y'all.
How did he do it? And then we'll get to your part, because he talked about you, but I want to let you speak on it in general first.
I think that Kendrick is a...
Okay, so if y'all couldn't hear what's going on in the background, they're basically going over the fact of, how Kendrick beat Drake in a back and forth feud. Let me get to the comment section in a second. 345, lock in.
Kendrick won the battle.
Ready to go.
How did he do it? And then we'll get to your part, because he talked about you, but I want to let you speak on it in general first.
I think that Kendrick is a lyricist, and a lyricist that talks to your soul.
Shake my hand.
Like, you can be clever. You can be clever, you can say cute things, you can do things in cadences and so on and so forth.
Preheat initiated. We at 350 right now, y'all. We can now put the food inside the oven and let it cook. Y'all ready for me now? We just had to play the back. We had to play the backstory because your boy was right from January 14th. We just had to play the backstory. It's just nice to know sometimes that you were right and something was coming that can't be stopped. You feel me? Shake my hand, hit the like button. Let's start the show. Sloppy. Dusty. Yup. Soft. Wow. The unmitigated gall, the temerity to be a roadblock for greatness. To stop them at the border with the vibranium in the hand. Unbelievable, unethical, diabolical, should be ashamed. You mean to tell me now when I hear the term drop, it refers to the Clipse? Huh? We using drop in a different terminology now? What we doing? Unbelievable. Y'all tried to what? They try to censor. No, break it down. Censor. Y'all tried to censor something and take somebody off a verse. Take someone's verse off. Make him change a verse. Make him change. Take the why and leave the why. Take the why and leave the why. You want to tell Kendrick Lamar, who's being celebrated for being unfiltered, to change and switch around a verse? Stop it. Yeah. I'm activated, y'all. I told y'all the oven is at 400 degrees right now. Oh, boy. Was that a joke from the higher-ups? Was that a comedic joke from the higher? Y'all comedians now. Y'all gotta be comedians. Did y'all get a laugh? Did y'all make a dollar bet between billionaires? What are we doing? Make that make sense. Make that make sense. Then y'all were told, oh my goodness. The optics. We're gonna read it. So we're gonna read it. But I already read it though. I already read it. So I'm reacting off of what I read already. Pardon me. We're gonna read it at some point in time. But you said the optics of it. The optics. It looks bad. We got Drake's rivals on there. Pusha T, and Kendrick. That looks bad. So what? So what? You let God sort them out. Wow! How did that connect like that? I didn't even try it. Y'all know I'm live right now. This stuff's a freestyle. Wow! UMG, Def Jam, you let God sort them out. You let whatever happens, happens. But then again, they were told. After they said, oh, we're apprehensive about this and we don't want to do this. Y'all were told that the verse wasn't even a diss. Y'all were told the verse wasn't even a diss. So after you were told that the verse wasn't even a diss, y'all should have dropped y'all claims or the apprehensions or the audacity to drop them. And now we see why Clipse was at Rock Nation. It all makes sense now. It's all being put together now. And I'm hearing, I have no sources on this, that they may have secured a Jay-Z feature. That would make sense. But with that being said, we're going to woo-sah a little. We're going to woo-sah. Pardon me. Woo-sah. Woo-sah. Let's go to what we can read now. Pardon me, y'all. All right, we got a lot here that I done bookmarked. All right, it says, woo-sah. Stay tuned. Pay attention. Woo-sah. Pusha T reveals that UMG and Def Jam dropped him and Clipse from their label after they refused to take Kendrick Lamar off their new album. That sentence alone sounds like madness. That sentence alone sounds like madness. Shake my hand. Appreciate y'all. We alive right now. Shake my hand. after a summer of beef between their two biggest artists that resulted in a still ongoing lawsuit. By the way, this is allegedly podcast. Everything I say induce or entertainment purposes only. Anytime I see lawsuit, I gotta say that. Sorry. Whenever I see a lawsuit or this, I gotta say that. Pardon me. All right. On still ongoing lawsuit from UMG Blanche at the antagonistic optics of two of Drake's biggest enemies linking on wax. Y'all made it about Drake when it wasn't even about Drake. Def Jam eventually agreed to release the Clipse and drop Pusha T as a solo artist, freeing the duo up to shop for a new home with the finished Clipse album. That's madness. So we doing this out of fear. And if anything, that makes it seem like, okay, they got a chance to win whatever situation y'all got going on. That sounds crazy to me. It does. Let's scroll. Apparently, Def Jam wanted the Clipse to remove. Oh, we just read that. Let's read this. Here's some of the work. All right, he had an interview and he with GQ magazine. He also addressed Drake. So that's crazy. How would beef from back then swing full circle for it to be where it's at now? The fact that he warred with Drake in the past, that Kendrick did, this kind of what's causing what's happening here. They're saying that Drake could use some of this against him. That's basically what they're implying. All right, in my eyes. But they allowed a good credit feature because that wasn't. It wasn't like Thanos and Apocalypse teaming up together. That's how they see it. They see it like Thanos and Apocalypse is about to, nah. They don't look at that as a threat. They saw Kendrick and Pusha T linking up as a threat, and it looks bad. But all right, if you expect the album last year, the brothers sympathized, so did they. Pusha says they felt confident, proud, and assured of themselves when they presented the music to Def Jam. So this is a UMG Def Jam situation. The label loved what they heard. The label, so when Pusha T played what he played, they loved what they heard. So one thing caused the ruckus, because they love what they heard. So this one thing caused the catastrophe or problem. What's going on here? Oh my God. They label all what they heard, except for the Kendrick Lamar guest verse on the thunderous Chains and Whips. Told y'all about 4 or 5 months ago. The final version of the song that Pharrell teased at his LV runway show, and the song Pusha says was first to come out of their sessions. Don't be fooled by Pusha's interviews appealing for one of the last guest verse. Told y'all on Twitter jokes that he went to a GNX tour date to physically walk Kendrick into the nearest studio. So K. Ben turned in this verse. This is not... Kendrick Ben turned his verse in. And the thing about it, y'all telling something, make Kendrick redo the verse or censor the verse. He probably said some shit that's even worse than what he already said. Like, what? That don't even sound right. Pardon me reading so fast. Today physically, while Kendrick into their studio, K-Dot's verse homework has been turned in for a while now. All right, let's continue. But after a summer of beef between their two biggest artists that resulted in the still ongoing lawsuit from Drake, Def Jam parent company, UMG Blanche at the antagonist. Did I read this part already? I think I read that part already. I did the optics right. Drake's biggest enemy, Lincoln on wax. Pusha calls their apprehension stupid, which is smart. Probably because none of their bars and Kendrick's otherwise excellent verse could really be perceived as a shot or even a subliminal. Let me read that because that part's pertinent. Let me read that part one more time. Pusha calls their apprehension stupid primarily because none of the bars in Kendrick's verse, otherwise excellent verse, could be really perceived as a shot or even a subliminal. It does, however, contain a stellar line. Therapy taught me how to open up. It also showed me I don't give a fuck. So you mean to tell me that's the most damaging line that they have? And you feel like they could use that against you on a lawsuit? This is a bad look, bro. This is a bad look. This is a bad look. Let's continue, though. Pusha can barely contain his disgust. I'll do it for you, Pusha. This is what you wanted to say when you were speaking to these niggas. I got you. Sloppy. Dusty. Y'all soft. The unmitigated gall of temerity. If y'all even talk to me like this, threaten to drop if I don't what? Censor this, censor. Shut up. What y'all saying sounds dumb, and it's not even regarding me, nigga. I am disgusted with you motherfucker. That's what Pusha T wanted to say to the label executives when he was sitting down with them. I'm just translating for y'all. Pusha can barely contain his disgust, recounting how the stalemate with Def Jam played out. They wanted me to ask Kendrick to censor. Me reading this again is pissing me off again, y'all. I'm sorry. This might be a little repetitive, but me reading that line again officially is getting me going. It's grinding my gears, it's scuffing my temps. I'm losing lives as Mario right now. You understand me? Huh? It's getting me going. It's pissing me off. They wanted me to ask Kendrick to censor his verse, which of course I was never doing. Shake my hand, brother. How do y'all think that conversation would have even gone? Take out this, take out that. What do you mean by censor? Y'all allow coke talking. Y'all allow people to call they girls this and that. Y'all allow shots to do, bop, 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 bop. We allow all this stuff. But you mean, so when you say censor, what do you mean censor the verse? You don't mean censor the cuss words. You don't mean that. You mean censor what could be perceived as a diss to accommodate what type of that doesn't even compute. I can't comply with that and doesn't compute. That makes zero sense. Give me the name of the nigga who he's talking to. Give me his name right now. Please. Give me his name. Give me his name. Oh my God. That person that you was talking to, they must be super unseasoned. They must not understand anything at that point. Who's the rep? Who's the rep? You can't even talk to a Pusha T or Kendrick about censoring anything. How? He must have thought Ashton Kutcher was on the other side and he was being punked. I think Pusha T really believed that he was being punked. They had cameras going on or something. There's no way. All right. Is that a name? Hold on. We might got some action here. Pardon me, y'all. All right. I got to settle down before I read again. Pardon me. Woosah. I got to come back. Woosah. Of course, I was never doing it, he explains, and then he wanted me to take the record off. I should have went live doing this. My blood pressure going down. I should have went live on this, y'all. Oh, my God. I should have went live. Oh, my. Hold on. And then they wanted me to take the record off. Y'all wanted to cancel or not put out, and this is part of the reason this shit is being blocked. Them TikToks from months ago, they want the whole thing down. UMG claiming and block. Now we know a little bit something. Y'all wanted him to remove a whole record. That actually sounds, from what I heard, it sounds good. They just got to add in Kendrick's part. The record sounds dope. They been played the record. It's called Chains and Whips, not Whips and Chains. Chains and Whips. Produced by Pharrell. Y'all wanted him to take this shit. Oh my God, I just can't make this shit up. And so after a month of not doing it, Steve Gawley, Steve, not Harvey, not Marley, but Steve Gawley, the lawyer over there was like, well, just drop the. I didn't read all this, y'all. 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 That's crazy. That's crazy. Steve Gawley, the lawyer over there, was like, "Well, just drop the clips." But that can't work because I'm still there solo. But if you let us go, let's continue. Sure enough, Def Jam would eventually agree to release the Clipse and drop Pusha T as solo artist, freeing the duo up to shop for a new home with the finished Clipse album and plenty more music in their pockets. I want to apologize to the Clipse on behalf of the people that y'all going through this, man. Or do y'all have to go through this to have a conversation like this? And for this to happen the way it did, you mean to tell me years of work, years of doing good, years of influencing others, years of rapping the way y'all rap, grinding, knowing when I'm keeping in line, classics, winning battles, and somebody in office can just say, "Yo, we'll just drop the Clipse." You mean that can happen like that? We'll just read that line. Read that line. We'll just drop the Clipse. We'll just drop the Clipse. You must be talking about shooting a gun, brother. That's the only way. That's the only way I can read that. The only way, we'll just drop. That's a threat to like somebody physically. That's the only way. We'll just drop the Clipse. That's madness. That line reads like madness, bruh. Sure enough, Def Jam eventually agreed to release the Clipse. John Pusha T told to do it. Okay, I read that part. Ultimately, Pusha says the endeavor was gratifying. It felt good to even see how other labels were buying for the project. Now, as they teased last week with a picture in front of a label's playing insignia, they've ended up at a Jay-Z Rock Nation where they feel fully supported and energized. So they leave UMG Def Jam and land at Rock Nation. I think that synergy, just in a rap sense, is going to speak volumes, Pusha says, of the partnership. This is disgusting, but also it might be a blessing. Imagine you shopping around a new project. See, I got a Kendrick feature on here. And Kendrick is hot. At this point, it's an old feature, but it's like, it's kind of new. So it's a blessing in disguise, but when you break this shit down, bar for bar, we're doing this to appease the person that we're going against, again, which is crazy. I see some of the comments saying UMG's protecting themselves. But if you told in the confines of the actual lyrics of the raps, it has nothing in there that can use to go against them. The most damaging line, which he pointed out, I went to therapy. And it showed me not to give a fuck. They can't use that against y'all. And if you want to say, yo, oh my God, Pusha T and Kendrick is teaming up. They've been teamed up. This ain't the first time them niggas teamed up. That could be your defense if they even tried to do that. So what I'm saying is the moves, even if you wouldn't look at it from their perspective, it just doesn't make sense still. It don't make sense. It does not add up. It does not compute. Oh my God. And then I read somewhere that Kendrick might, but I don't think this is, I don't want to say it because I don't think that's true. I don't see Kendrick leaving. I don't know. If he has a great business deal or whatever it is, I don't see him leaving a UMG, which he probably got a different setup. I know they probably treat him like royalty over there. They have to be. What else we got here, though? Hold on. Let me just read this part off and see what it says. It's crazy that Drake and delusional fan base try to convince people that labels are trying to suppress his music. I'm looking at this part, but I'm thinking to myself, imagine that. People think that someone else's music trying to be suppressed. We're seeing live and direct that Clipse's music was being suppressed. Literally. They got a whole droppage. The whole time it's the other way around. Labels are trying to suppress Kendrick's music. First, Kendrick tried to get him off Cardi album. Pardon me, first Kanye tried to get him off the Cardi album. Now Def Jam tried to get him off Clipse album. Thank you, Pusha T, for bringing this to light in GQ. Wow. Pardon me. Part of my excitement, y'all. Wow. And then he actually talks about Drake, I believe, too. Let's read this part off. Pusha T says he doesn't rate Drake anymore, but has heard the subliminal shots Drake has sent to him over the years. I think after everything that had been done, I don't think there was ever anything subliminal to be said ever again in life. No. Push it. I think the way you did what you did, a nigga is going to be subbing you forever. You you got this other way around, champ. After you did what you did, and if you don't know the story, edit on, whatever you want to call it, yeah, he gonna sub you for life, champ. You're not gonna live that one down in terms of, subliminal shots. Not only just musically, like, bro, I actually was in Canada. I actually had a show and made it home, so I can't pay attention to none of that. I did the dance for real, not to come back and tiptoe around anything. Damn. Y'all still got problems. What if this makes Pusha T want to, reignite things? Because low-key, you got dropped because of Mr. Drop. Wow. All right, wow. What y'all saying in the chat? Let me know. Talk to me in the chat. How y'all feeling? UMG should have suppressed some sexy songs for you. Oh, my goodness. What we doing? We getting obsessed. We don't get them sad. We're getting mad. This explains why Maple wanted to see them contracts. Not a good time to join Rock Nation. Not gonna lie. Why do you say that? I'm curious. Why do you say that? How you win a battle for exposing a man's child and calling him a pedo? Wow. Kind of getting crazy. All these damn lawyers feeling disgusted. Facts. Is any of this confirmed or gossip? This is what Pusha T said out his own mouth. We reacting and quoting Pusha T himself in a GQ article. Hold up. No. What's up? You think I'm just reading off of nothing? We kept the files, brother. Yeah. This the backup. You think I'm gonna get up here and act the way off of nothing? This the backup. Slow it down for your own situation. This is from GQ themselves. They interviewed Pusha T, and this is what Pusha T said. These are the facts of what he said. So this entire video is us reacting off what Pusha T said. These are Pusha T quotes. These are Pusha T expressions. So yeah, this saying, if any type of hearsay is from Pusha T. See you pushing me, you better off pushing T, and then push a P, and then push an E. All right, brother? There you go. We kept the file. We had to show the files. Pardon me. Pusha T liked it on Twitter too. See? So Pusha T himself also liked the situation. Shake my hand. Yes, sir. Appreciate that. Trash ass industry need to unionize. Kendrick and Pusha is a monster duo. Nostalgia was proof. That's a fact. My Ace Trumpet video's coming out. Don't worry about that. So what happened was they was blocking niggas' videos, bro. Initially, when you did an Ace Trumpet's reaction, it got blocked. So stay tuned. I got you. It's coming out. I'm gonna put it out today. Drake was supposed to be a Trojan horse to get us in the door. Hip hop pushed him, and he turned double agent. Ugh. What's up? What's going on, champ? Rock Nation gonna let them drop. UMG had the culture for a second and lost it. All crazy. Pharrell and Jay and Clipse. Game over. Damn. July 11th at that. This is a great rollout for him too. To reveal this shit, it's a good rollout. You'll get some good traction in your situation, brother. I ain't gonna hold you. I'm just saying, this is what it says to me from UMG Def Jam. I feel like the case isn't as clear cut as they're saying. Because if we were so confident in what we got going on, y'all wouldn't try to stop this. So now I'm gonna get back to reading the lawsuit. By the way, this is allegedly podcast. I'm gonna get back to reading the lawsuit and see what's really going on. Because if you was 100% confident, y'all wouldn't be stopping shit like this. So we're gonna do our due diligence at some point. You know what I'm saying? And then that don't even, you know how that don't make sense? Because saying you have to censor some shit now, nobody censored a whole rap battle. A whole rap battle wasn't censored. Why are we gonna censor now? I mean, in their defense, because you're in a lawsuit now, okay. But you were told the confines. You were told what was in the lyrics. Nothing damaging. Black. That was for YouTube. We still live though. All right, what else we got? H. Trumpers felt like it was missing a verse too, but I thought it was Jay. But even better is Dot. No. Dot is on Chains and Whips. I don't think Dot's supposed to be on Ace Trumpets. That's what I'm saying. All the flawedness in those responses was them perping. We'll see. Because apparently there's a lot more to read that I didn't read yet. Actually got tired of reading so many pages and shit. Bodega they blocked. Gotta get Drake out of hip hop. Wow. Oh, we gonna see what's going on. We can't. I don't want to say too much crazy shit until we get some finality. Peekaboo. What does that man Kendrick really know? Got them all shook. I think that was the last part of a battle that we never got to. We may never get to. Chains and Whips. It was played at the. I read that part. K. Dot ain't working with Drake. Most likely using him to help expose. Was actually taking the trash along with it. Are you OV hoes mentally disturbed? Bro, let's not turn into that. Not live on. Let's not turn. Not live on the stream. Not live on the stream. What else we got here? No, we're going to find out who's winning the case. We're going to find that shit out. We're going to find that shit out, you hear me? The industry has no invested interest in creating any more megastars. Not exposing UMG. He just hurt. They didn't block Not Like Us. But wow, they should have blocked Meet the Grams. Meet the Grams is fucking craziest. Back to this 23-1. If you know, you know. PG Lang has the potential to become the front of the fight against the industry. Working while listening to your shit, Jay Black. Appreciate that. What else we got here? What doesn't make sense is UMG allowed GNX to drop on Interscope and for Dot to perform Not Like Us at the Super Bowl. This feels like Def Jam just not want any parts of this. That doesn't make sense, though. Because I feel like, again, once you break down what Pusha T says, of course, Kendrick and Drake linked up. Kendrick and Clipse linked up. But again, the verse inside that track wasn't a diss. It's not a diss. So once I tell you, yo, okay, we'll play the song for you. This is what he said in the track. It's not a diss. It should be good to go. It should be good to go. You can talk about the fan, but Pedo claims were a forced and desperate move. They don't control when Dot drops. You're talking to yourselves in the chat. Meet the Grams was not 80% lies. Oh boy, look how something that happened over a year ago is still in play and affecting music today. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's madness. Def Jam is trash for this. We'll just drop them. Don't need the headache. That whole line was crazy. Even if it was, Def Jam doesn't get to decide that though. That's the point. Pusha T, even Malice cut off Def Jam and UMG a long time ago. It's not going to be a diss, though. The execs at Def Jam were the ones censored it. And because I'm sure Def Jam was trying to protect political connects. That's even nastier. That's nastier. That's nastier. You should just have artists do what they do. Imagine trying to censor all your artists to protect political connects. That doesn't make no sense. That's even worse. But to get to decide, that's the problem. Def Jam missed the opportunity for success. This Clipse album will do big numbers. That's questionable. I gotta be fair. What's the big numbers to y'all? I feel like this whole debacle is helping them out, number-wise. UMG playing both sides. It's a UMG / Def Jam thing. All right? Pusha always make his promo about Drake or Ye. It's ridiculous. He spoke about Ye as well. But here's the thing, though. Pusha T is being interviewed. So he can't help what they're going to ask. So he's being interviewed, and they asking about Kanye and Drake. And the thing about it, Kanye is saying some crazy shit. If I'm an interviewer, of course I'm asking about that, right? Like, Kanye, wow, you got anything you want to... Like, you did a lot of projects with this nigga. Like, so that's really what it is. Hold on, y'all. I'm going to get this right. Hit the like button, by the way. Hip-hop, long change from its anti-establishment roots, yet artists like Dot are still keeping it 100 and getting targeted. Theory. Every successful record stimulates interest in artists' overall catalog. Not Like Us was stay relevant longer. Stayed in the Bill 100, and Kendrick made more features hits. You know what's crazy is? I feel like the lawsuit helped Not Like Us stay in the fucking algorithm for so long. The more and more we heard about new pages of shit being dropped against Kendrick, niggas streamed it more. Lori's need a friendly fade and keep it that way. It's still charting. They moved it to another chart because it's been up there since last year. Ooh. Yeah, once you tell a rapper to censor shit, it's over. Once you tell a rapper change your lyrics to censor it, it's a done deal, bro. It's a done deal. It's a done deal. Especially a guy like Pusha T. Come on, man. Come on, man. There's no way. Literally, they like Pusha T for that raw. It's a double. It could be. Where's J. Cole video Black? It's coming. Stay tuned. That video requires research. That video requires me to quote things he's been saying for over a year. So pardon me if it takes a minute. It's not simply just, J. Cole. No. I'm going to quote that man a lot. We're going to play certain sounds from him a lot. So just stay tuned. Whose fault is that? What part you responded to when you said that? When you said whose fault is that, Jay Black? Here's the thing. If I'm Pusha T and I've been doing things this way with you for a long period of time, you want me to change my shit now? You bugging. Jay Black Meet the Grants wasn't a bop, and the only reason why Drake sued Not Like Us because the bop. That makes sense. That makes sense. But I felt like the scariest track that kind of like did what it did was Meet the Grams. Appreciate you. Thanks for commenting and shaking my hand. Shake my hand. Censoring bars. They try to censor a whole fucking track. Jay Black, investigative journalist. Barely. Today, barely. Are y'all going back and forth with Dr. Umar? That's crazy. Appreciate the knowledge. I'm learning so much. Appreciate you. No rappers should be censored. Facts. And then think about it, it's not about being just censored, right? Because like if I come to y'all with this track or my verse is about, being a snowman or delivering, cocaine, you know what I'm saying, from the purest of form, and you don't censor that, but you want to censor this, that's madness. That's craziness. That's ridiculousness. That doesn't make sense. I can rap about stabbing a person, shooting a person, or doing this, or slapping somebody. Like, yo, you good on that. But let's censor this part. And it's a Kendrick part. That makes no sense. That makes absolutely no fucking sense. 616 was the bomb. The man prayed before he prayed. Damn. Who got the courts involved first? Damn. Yeah, it doesn't make sense ever. Factually speaking, yes. All right. A rapper shouldn't be controlled, shouldn't control a label he doesn't own. It's Drake. He doesn't want anything else about him from Kendrick. But again, if you read the particulars, if you listen to what Pusha T said, this is actually an old verse. And the verse is not about about Drake. The verse isn't even a diss. Do I got to read this part again? Hold on. Do we have to read this part one time? I think we do. People coming in here a little late. I suit to that. Here we go. One more time for the people in the back. But after a summer of beef between their two biggest artists that resulted in a still ongoing lawsuit from Drake, Def Jam's parent company, UMG, blanched at the antagonistic optics of two of Drake's biggest enemy, Lincoln on Wax. Pusha called their apprehension stupid, primarily because none of the bars in Kendrick's otherwise excellent verse could be really perceived as a shot or even a subliminal. It should be done after that. And if I tell you it's no shot, you can't even take what he's saying as subliminal, it should be a green light, do what you do, my fault. He says it does, however, contain the subtle line. Therapy taught me how to open up, but it also taught me not to give a fuck. So this whole entire situation is asinine, it's stupid, it's atrocious. It makes no fucking sense with this page alone. With this page alone, it makes no sense. Football push these interviews appealing at one of the largest guest verses. Okay, that's. And this is what it says. It says UMG. Again, one more time. But after a summer of beef between their two biggest artists that resulted in a still ongoing lawsuit from Drake, Def Jam's parent company. And the chatter says we policing subliminals. So we censoring entendres. Y'all censoring my entendres. They censoring entendres. They censoring entendres, y'all. They censoring subliminals. They censoring shots. And after Pusha T tells them, hey, therapy taught me how to open up. It also showed me I don't give a fuck. Y'all thought to yourselves, that's too much. Either remove Kendrick or remove the track altogether, or we dropping y'all. You know what? This is my final thought. Hopefully, GQ and Pusha T thought today was April 1st. That's the only thing I can say right now. Hopefully, UMG and Pusha T thought today was April 1st. That's the only thing. That's the only thing that makes sense. That's the only thing that makes sense. Oh my God. Just Be Yapping says, this is just the beginning. It will get worse. No label. DSP are going to take their risk of legal liability. Thank Defamation Poppy for what's to come. Damn. She's saying this is the future, y'all. This is the future. You know what's going to happen in the future? Niggas gonna have to sign a fucking documentation before they enter a rap battle. That's the only way. Your label gonna make you sign something that says, yo, anything goes. Hold on, we got a challenge right here. Salt says black. Why do you believe what Pusha says about that, but don't believe what Drake said about UMG paying Kendrick to lower his stock? You got to repackage that sentence, brother. I'm confused with what you're saying. Because you're saying, I don't believe that what Drake said about UMG paying Kendrick to lower his stock. Make that make sense. Happy you're still covering this. Sidebar, J Black. I had to revisit your battle reactions last night. They will never not be as funny as... Thank you. Appreciate that. Oh, my goodness. And another reason to believe... Another reason to believe Pusha T is because I've been following Chains and Whips for a minute. Again, I showed y'all did a video January 14th of this year. And I'm like, yo, why this shit ain't dropped yet? Why is UMG claiming this or blocking that? And it's like it's everything I said back then, and it's adding up. On top of that, him being dropped. Can you fake being dropped from a label? Can you? I mean, we'll find out, right? We'll find out. We'll find out. UMG saw his Pusha T featuring Dot and said, hell, they said, nope. They said, nope. We don't want no more problems. They said Pusha T and Kendrick back at it? Nope. No, thank you. We don't want that problem. Lawyer was like, nah, nigga, drop that nigga. Drop that nigga. I don't care what they say. They can say none of this is a diss and the whole thing is a triple entendre and the whole fucking diss. Nah, you can tell me he ain't say shit, but you gonna have nigga reacting on YouTube like, yo, this whole thing is a Drake diss. Just drop this nigga now. Let's get this dude out of here. You know what I'm saying? Let's get him out of here. You talking about some they ain't a diss. It's not no new. That's the fuck it is. This nigga Kendrick is a quintuple entendre type of nigga. Yeah, the first two meanings ain't a diss, but then the fifth and the fourth meaning is a whole fucking diss. It's a destruction of motherfucker. Cancel that track. Get him out of here. You know what I'm saying? Bro reads our comments. I definitely do. Black, you the truth. Appreciate that. But you believe Pusha's conspiracy when before he said the delay had nothing to do with Drake. I mean, technically it doesn't, but it does. Because technically it don't, but it do, but it don't. You get my drift? This ain't Drake, and this not Drake intent. Like, this ain't Drake saying, I'm going to stop this. I'm doing this to stop that. It raises your value, get music facts. And then if we're trying to break down Pusha T saying something versus Drake saying something, it's two different arguments, bro. It's a whole difference. It's apples and oranges in a sense. Like he's saying, yo, Kendrick Lamar was Not Like Us being boosted because of this. I feel like Not Like Us is a great fucking song. It's a bop. At the tail end of a fucking crazy rap battle. So what you may believe. So it's a lot of things. You can't just say one part of that. June 2025, we still waiting on the summer vibes. Actually, if Pusha and Kendrick were not rapping about Drake, would this be happening? That could change. I think without Pusha T or Kendrick rapping about Drake, they'd still be successful. Would it be as big as this? Probably not. Because this, again, when you in a rap battle or rap beef, it just makes everybody like, like, oh shit, I'm tuned in now, as opposed to just being regularly tuned in. Billionaires using their money to force people into liking their art is so predictable. This strategy will further chill hip-hop music, as now their lyrical border and patrol slower record production. I think once this lawsuit is done, we get back to usual, regular scheduled programming. Now, Kendrick is not going to diss Drake. I don't think so. I told you what's going to happen. when Drake drop his solo album, it's probably gonna feature a shot or a diss, a subliminal at Kendrick. That's what I think is gonna happen. I think round 2 unofficially starts when Drake drop his solo joint. That's what I think. What else we got here? The Clipse album was done, but Drake called in some favors. I can't say he called in some favors. Because again, UMG, according to Pusha T, said, yo, what you doing? I don't think Drake called in anybody. I think they're fearful of what could happen. They're protecting their interests. I think that's what happened here. We going through some crazy shit, and you bring this man back into the forefront with this nigga? Oh no, you gotta censor that. You can't do that right. That's what I think happened. You can't do that right now. We're in a legal situation with this motherfucker, and you bring in Thanos and Apocalypse together on a track called Chains and Whips while we dealing with this nigga? No, you can't drop that. I think that's what happened. I think that's what happened. I really think it's that simple. If someone gets dissed, it's going to be Ye. Yeah. I think they'll be fine with him dissing Ye. But you're not about to diss the nigga that we in a lawsuit with. Allegedly podcast, by the way. Everything I say I do for tape purposes only. Leave me out of it. 2025 rap beef didn't have the energy as 2024 when I'm still watching reactions from last year. Oh, no, see, here's the thing. The 2025 rap beef between Joey Badass, Daylight, Ray Vaughn, everybody that was involved, it was competitive. It was just competitive. With Kendrick and Drake, a line was crossed, and that's when it got crazy. They gave each other warnings and shit. It's a friendly fade, but keep it that way. It turned out not to be a friendly fade. And then on top of that, Kendrick and Drake are two of the biggest artists ever in hip hop. Or one, you know what I'm trying to say. Like at that point in time, Kendrick and Drake, like they were like top 3. Currently. Let me say that currently, not ever. Currently. So you got the top 2 or the top 3 going to each other, it's just fireworks. There's a difference between it's a fact. It's a difference between rap battles and beef. Facts. The real question is, where would this have gone if they didn't do what they did, or if Drake didn't do what he did? Kid Rock in the mix, you never know what's going on. It's been crazy watching Drake make things worse, all on his own. Yeah, that line was crossed as Drake panty line. That ratchet interloper, oh my goodness. Like mentioned, is Joey's kid, so shouldn't Joey call him a... Oh, okay, brother, I see what's going on. Again, I think the battle with Joey, Badass, Daylight, and, well, not Ab-Soul. Ab-Soul just made a statement, basically. Ray Vaughn was competitive. They didn't really get super personal. Shaking your hand, good brother, doing some housework. Now my son is sleeping. What's the deal here? The deal is censorship. If I can give you 2 words, censorship and drop. I asked you to censor something. You didn't censor something, so now we drop you. No, first it was censor this, censor that, removes Kendrick's verse, or remove the track altogether, or get dropped. They got dropped. And now they're in Rock Nation. That's the best way I can summarize it for you. That's it. Censorship, drop, move to Rock Nation. So basically, you know, Rock Nation say, y'all can do that verse. Well, that verse is cool. We ain't censoring that. We can distribute that track. Yo, what if it has a diss in there though? Now I'm thinking before I dip. What if it actually has a diss? What if it's actually a diss though? Because you can say it's not a diss, but again, these niggas know how to flip words. They know how to diss you without dissing you. Dumb niggas, they know how to diss you without dissing you. It don't have your name, it don't have your likeness, it don't have nothing about you in there, but it's about you. What if that's afoot? Huh? Huh? What if they heard and said, no, there's too many. Just, what if that's the case, though? But probably not. I'm going to believe Pusha T when he says there's no subliminals, there's no nothing. Again, I said this about 5 months ago. I said whips and chains. We got a track called "Not Like Us," and you trying to rap like you trying to free the slaves. You rapping like you trying to free the slaves, not like us, and you got whips and chains. They said nobody. They said nope. I'm out of here. No sir. No sir. I don't know. I'll be on the track without this. It's Bobby says them all being on the track is dissing without dissing. Oh yeah. I see why they scared, but after Pusha T say, "Yo, it's not what y'all think," the green light should have went on. Like, "Oh, we good then. All right, we believe you. We believe you." Ronaldo says, "Getting dissed by no malice hit different." Oh yeah, it's gonna sting. His voice alone, it's gonna sting. It's gonna sting, bro. Kendrick is still dissing Drake by performing Not Like Us. And his concert's getting sold the fuck out. Niggas going to multiple shows. I want to do another show. But he on the West right now. Joe Budden, Drake, this afraid was all true. Yeah, Joe Budden got that, what's the name, way back then. This now leads to so many questions. Side eye is very strange. Yeah, very strange. Very strange. It's very strange. It's Stephen Strange at this point. It's Stephen Strange, you hear me? Drake also got a bar whipped and chained like you American slaves. He said he ain't say that. Let's type that. He ain't say that. I need context behind what you said. Whipped. And you quoted that too, didn't you? You quoted that. I'm gonna type that in real fast. Hold on, y'all. He quoted that. Yeah, it gotta be cap. Ain't no way he said that. We gotta verify that one. Ain't no, I don't believe that. I don't think Drake would do that. Now I actually typed it in and it says it's actually true. I want to hear him say that though. So yeah, I just seen it say it's gonna slime you out. I need context behind that. Oh boy, you fucked this whole stream up, bro. I ain't gonna hold you. You fucked this whole stream up, brother. You fucked this whole stream up, bro. Oh, Vic, context, that's bad. I need the context behind that. I ain't gonna hold you. I need the context. The crazy part is I probably heard it already. I probably wasn't paying attention. I think I heard this. Yes, it sounds crazy out of context, man. I did hear that. I didn't think of it like that. But now that we talking about censorship, chains and whips, and like hearing that, it just sounds crazy in the comment section. But I definitely heard that already. You know what I'm saying? On that note, y'all, we out, man. Oh my goodness. That's what made the Not Like Us third verse hit harder to me. He used what Drake said. Not that part, but him just saying you rapping like you're trying to free the slaves. Yeah, that sounds crazy out of context, man. Shit, it might sound crazy with the context too. God. Have a good week, brother. No, listen, after I'm done, I'm gonna drop part of this on YouTube. like I always do at this point. And we're gonna drop the what's the name? Ace trumpets. So y'all, notification bells on, please. Notification bells on, please, and thank you. Notification, I might do 2 today outside of this live. So notification bells on, please, and thank you. Shake my hand, hit the like button, and if you missed the important part of this live, it's gonna drop on YouTube in like 2 minutes. All right? All right? Y'all have a blessed day. We out of here, man. Black.